People always ask me, like, how much do bookkeeping businesses actually make? And the main thing that we need to talk about, okay, so number one, there's three factors in how much you can actually make, okay? Time allotment, next thing is pricing, next thing is sales skills. So time allotment, how much time can you actually dedicate to running the business? In the beginning, it's probably gonna be a lot less than once a business is successful. So that's why really understanding and establishing how much do you need to make per hour that you spend working is very important. Remember, we're talking about spending hour, like time per hour that we spend working, but we're not necessarily expressing that to the client in an hourly rate. But I still need to know that, right? Remember, okay? So let's say that I only have 10 hours per week to work. I have to know what do I need to do if it's even possible for me to hit my revenue goal. Now, what I would honestly do if I was you, if I was starting inside of my job right now, I would not necessarily think about, I would have two goals. Essentially. I would have, what is the real goal that I want? And then what's the goal that's possible for me to leave my job? Because generally your earning potential once you leave your job is going to either double or triple what it is when you're currently in your job, because you're going to get an extra 40 to 50 hours worth of time back to continue to grow. Now, one thing to note, don't quit your job just because you're starting a business. A fallacy that I see a lot of people have is, oh, if I just have more time, I can grow. No, growing your business is not a factor of how much time you spend doing the actual growth activities. For me, for example, I actually make more money in a lot of cases when I do less work. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's because if you do smarter work, then you don't need to necessarily do a bunch of hustling, a bunch of grinding, a bunch of running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Time allotment is key, right? So you have to understand, like, how much time do you have per week, and then what is your minimum bill? So let's say that your minimum bills per month is $5,000, okay? So if you divide this by 10, how much do you need to be making? So you need to basically be making $500 per unit of time that you spend inside of the business. Now, for most people, that's going to be very hard. So you might need to increase that time. So let's say you might need to increase from $5,000 to 15. Let's say you spend 15 hours per week, right? So 5 divided by 15. Okay, so if you can work 15 hours a week, that's now you have to make $333 per hour. That's not terribly unusual, okay? You could potentially do that. Now, one thing that can also help that is that if you're getting a big cleanup project, because that will actually go in and you can basically divide the total of the cleanup project, which is just a bulk amount of work at one time. So a cleanup project, let's say that the client is a number of months behind. Maybe they're a number of years behind. You have to basically go and do all of their accounting work from wherever they last left off to where they are right now. So that is generally expressed or paid in like a one-time lump sum, but then you can divide that out, right? So 333 is really good. If you can really get that to, like, really ideally, if you can do like $200 per hour, that's gonna be the easiest way, like the most doable. That's a really safe kind of number. You can of course do 333 per hour that you're working, but just for most people, it's really gonna be like 200. And that's a very safe estimate, right? So that's number one. That's gonna determine how much money you can make when you're starting out. Now, the next most important thing that's going to do that is going to be, what is your pricing like? Again, because if you can charge someone $400 per hour, which is what your flat rate comes out to, and you can get that multiple times from multiple different clients, okay, now you're in really good shape. Now you've increased your earning potential even further. And it's going to be like, the higher you charge and the better the clients that you do, the less you need to go and reach your income goal, which is going to condense the amount of time it takes to reach that income goal. Now, the next thing that's going to be important is going to be your sales skills, right? Because if you can't, it's one thing for you to know, okay, I need to make $200 per hour because that's how much time I can allot to this business. Okay. It's another thing to know, I should be charging this person $3,000 per month, because that's going to put me at my $200 per hour kind of goal. It's another thing to be able to get the person to say yes to you at those price points. Now, that's going to come down to your sales skills, right? So when I'm thinking of sales skills, I'm thinking of 4 different things. I'm thinking of 1, how do you see your service and your value? Number 2, how do you communicate the value? Number 3 is, how does the other person see your service? And then number 4 is, how does the other person see money? There are a lot of business owners where if you're talking to a business owner that's really trying to grow, they view money differently than what a regular kind of consumer does. Most people, like when we're starting our business, you might be still thinking like a consumer, not like a business owner. Most business owners are investors. They're used to, I have to spend this much money to get this much return out. They're always doing a calculation in their head. Now, some business owners are a lot more relaxed with that calculation than other ones. So for example, like maybe a smaller business owner is, okay, if I invest $1 into something, I need to get at least $50 back. But there are some people where it's, if I spend $1, I need to get at least $2 back. As long as I get $2 back, I'm good. And even if I don't get $2 back, I don't really care. So you have to understand who are you speaking to, because that will determine how easy it is to charge a good price on your service. And then when you're doing your sales, right, you have to understand, like, how do you objection handle? How do you communicate value? How do you find out what's valuable to the other person? When you can do that, you can start commanding a much higher price point, and that will influence how much you can make. Now, the next thing, those first two, so there's three things to talk about. We talked about time allotment, pricing, and sales, right? So pricing is a skill set, sales is a skill set. Those two skill sets will unlock your ability to get to 6 figures. Now, marketing is the thing that will determine the speed of with which you get there, right? Pricing as well, it's an introduction, it's like a kind of a bridge step, but marketing will determine the number of leads and the size client, and that's going to lead to you getting it a lot faster. Because let's say you charge like $5,000 a month for a client, okay, but you only have 1 lead per year, and just having a really great lead. Okay, well, it's $5,000 a month. You're making $60,000 over the next 12 months. That's good. But if your marketing's a little bit better, you can maybe make $100,000. Maybe you can get 2 clients like that, right? So the easiest way to really get understanding of marketing is understanding how to use social media to go and build referral partnerships with individuals in the local area and online who can already send you high quality clients. Because if you can get very high quality clients being sent to you from referral partners, it makes your job exponentially easier, because you don't have to do quite as much work. And when you have a full-time job, the leads can start coming into you without you necessarily having to do something like that. Now, I'll give you an example. So one of our students, her name is Audrey. So when she was getting started, the first client she got came from a LinkedIn referral. So she basically used her LinkedIn system to go and basically get an individual that referred her a client. That client paid her $4,000 a month she paid her that for 3 years straight. So what is that? $4,000 a month. That's $48,000 times 3. What is that? I'm sorry, my math is not working today. Let me do this. So 48,000, actually 4,000 a month times 12, that's 48,000 a year times 3 years. That person paid her $144,000 because of one connection on LinkedIn. And that's one reason why I made my book called 6-Figure Partnerships. It basically shows you to go get your first or next 6-figure partner. Now, if you want me to go and send you a copy of the book, so actually if you comment 6FP down below, I will put a link in the comments where you can go and buy the book. It's like right now on my website, I have a friends, family, and subscribers kind of rate of $4.95 because I want to make sure that it's as accessible to as many people as possible. So almost everyone has $5 they can invest in a book. So if you want that, type that below. I'll put it in the comments. Just type 6FP and I will send you a link to buy the book. Now, going back into this thing, okay? Once you understand marketing and once you can start really getting some clients, I'm not going to go too deep into marketing today because we literally have 1,500 videos on this channel around like marketing and sales. So I'll maybe put a link inside of the video. If you go inside the description, there should be a link to a video that breaks down different marketing tactics. So go and check that out in the link below. Now, also remember, how much you make will also depend on your plan. It comes from knowing your numbers and understanding how you can start working back from there, okay? So that is your bookkeeping business plan. Hopefully you learned something new today. If you have any questions, drop inside the comments below. And then check out the description. There's a lot of helpful links. There's some videos you can watch to go and learn more about marketing, more about sales. I also have a video inside of that shows how did I get to $10,000 per month in my bookkeeping firm in the first year that I did it. So the title of the video is 10K in 90 days. Go check that training out. It'll help you out a lot, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.